Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I recently had the opportunity to get out on the California Delta with Garret Dixon, the owner of G-Ratt Baits. And I know when you think of G-Ratt Baits, you automatically think of the Sneaky Peeps, probably the most popular striper bait that's come down the pipe in the last 20 years. But what you might not know is Garret is a hardcore bass guy. He's tournament tested. He has a lifetime of largemouth bass fishing experience, and G-Ratt Baits makes some excellent largemouth bass baits. We're going to be talking about those baits today. We're going to talk about some baits that he's had on the market for a while, and we're going to talk about some baits that are coming out. We're going to be fishing some prototypes today. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'll turn it over to Garret. He'll go over some of the baits we'll be using today. We'll run some B-roll. You guys will be able to see what we did out here on the Delta a couple days ago. And then I'll wrap it up real quick. We'll make sure you guys know everything there is to know when it comes to G-Ratt Baits. So with that, let's turn it over to Garret. He'll talk about some of the baits we'll be using today.
First bait I'm going to talk about is our con frog, right? This is our con frog right here. It's got a hard nose on it. That allows that bait to where it will not slide up the line, won't roll down on your hook. It stays fixed in there. That hook is actually clevis through the line tie, and that hard nose also lets it come through toolies easy. Comes out of the rip wrap. If you're throwing it on the rip wrap, gets lodged in those tight pockets. You can get it out easy. It walks super effortlessly, so you're gonna catch a ton of fish on the con frog. We're gonna see if we can't get bit on it today. We'll play with that one, and we're gonna also throw our new popping frogs. This frog is the only popping frog I know that has a hard popping design to a nice soft body. So the popping frog, we're gonna play with that a little bit. It's been awesome. I prototyped it last year before we came out with it and absolutely wrecked fish with it. I've already caught some fish at Clear Lake with it this year, but we're gonna pop them with the popping frog. I'm gonna pop it with the popping frog, should I say. The next one that I'm gonna probably do most of my work with and damage, I hope today, is my Dixie flip. So that bait there I designed, and I wanted a bait to where it stood with the appendages straight up on the bottom, and that bait punches in, staying straight up, and I wanted something that went in and out clean, effortlessly. You can take it on these big thick cheese mats right here, punch it right in, it goes straight down to the bottom, hop it a couple times, pitch it, and it comes right out of those mats and it's clean. So that's the next bait that hopefully we're gonna have a little success with. The next one we're gonna go to, this is something I'm gonna show just kind of quickly. This is a new Papa web. This is our standard Weber, the smaller bait. You can see how much larger the Papa web is, so we're gonna play with that a little bit also, and our new hook and rigging. See if we can't catch some on that. Then we'll see if we can throw around our Berserker. So this is a topwater bait. This is a new prototype we're coming out with this bait this fall. I've been prototyping it for about a year. Have a ton of success. It's got a nice knocking system to it. It's got that feathered tail, really nice profile. So see if we can't catch them later tonight or maybe even today. The sun high around some grass over some top of some hydrilla, some stuff like that. We'll check that out. Next one we'll talk about, this is our new rat blade spinner bait, right? So these aren't on the market yet. They're gonna be soon. I wanted a shorter wire off the head here with the kind of just to make the belt, make the blade spin a little more compact. It's got a nickel plated 4.5/0 hook on it. You got that tandem willow with the gold blade and the silver underneath, and that's our signature head that we run on our chatterbait, on our weedless vibrating jig, on our spinner bait now, and then we also have jigs coming too. So, but this bait really nice, super easy, free flowing, catch a ton of fish on it. And then this is the little square bill we're gonna fish also. This is what we call the shock box. So it's got a little fiberboard bill. I wanted something clear, like, thin and then silent. It's a silent square bill. So this is in the bluegill color. We're gonna have that in like 11 colors. So it's got an awesome hook behind it. It's got that stinger style hook. It's a BKK hook. And we'll wind that around some rip wrap today if we get by some, and see what happens with that. And the next one we'll talk about right here real quick. We have 3 new worms coming out, right? So this is the rat tail worm. It's a little different, Cinco style worm. It's a 5-inch. Put a nail weight in the head of it, wacky hook it. It's made out of that TPE. This is black and blue. We'll have it in like 10 colors.
Here's
So, you know, that's going to be good. Oh, yeah. And then we have a 10-inch ribbon tail coming.
What's the other one?
And then there is a, then there's a 7-inch curl tail coming.
Let's see.
That's the rat tail worm again, though. That's that 5-inch rat tail.
You got plenty. We got stuff to fool with.
Yeah, we got a 7-inch one. Yeah, look at Steve's also going to mess with this. I got him on, look, that's that baby bass color on that Papa Web. Ooh, boy. Yep.
10-inch.
There's another 10-inch curl tail. So worms, soft baits, little hard bait action. Oh, another bait I want to talk about real fast before we get rolling is a staple down here on the Delta. And that is, as you know, is a chatterbait, right? A chatterbait is something that has been caught more fish, made more money in the Delta than you can imagine. But what we did with ours, we created a weedless version, right? You can see that it's a 4-aught offset hook, and that's paired in there with a Dixie flip that we have, and it's got a split ring at the bottom and a split ring at the top, obviously, so you got a ton of movement. This bait will hunt just winding it. It'll go left, right, left, right. It doesn't go perfectly straight like a jackhammer or slobber knocker or what have you. You know, this bait hunts really well, and then when you come into some hydrilla and you pop it out of the hydrilla, the bait will go a foot. You know, I've seen them go 15, 16 inches to one side when it comes out and then comes back, and that just creates, that creates strikes. It's just the way it is. So to me, the more hunting action in a bait is nice. And then when you rig it like this and are able to rig it weedless, you can just 4-wheel drive right through all this vegetation behind us. It's nothing to take this thing out like right here in front of us, and it's a 4-wheel drive bait, and that blade is moving right off the bat. As soon as you engage the reel, you got vibration going, and that blade's moving and it's hunting. And I'll tell you right now, look at that thing hunt when it comes in. It just got over here, over there, whoop, whoop, pop it. We're gonna see what happens out here on the California Delta with Steve's in deep on the Delta. So thanks for having me, Steve.
All right, Garrett, let's go out and see what we can do.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All righty.
Boy, oh boy.
Just missed one. I don't think these are big fish, but we need to get one in the boat.
Surely.
That's the way I work.
Surely. We're gonna get one on the boat over here somewhere. Or right here. Right here. Yeah. This mat right here is about as fine as they come to punch a giant bass out of.
So Garrett and I had a plan, and our plan was to not do a lot of running around. We weren't going to look for fish. We were going to fish for fish on this particular day. We're going to try some prototype baits. We wanted to find a variety of water, rock, tule, a little bit of deep water, a little bit of shallow water, some subsurface vegetation, maybe flip some surface vegetation, and just see what some of these baits could do. So we started off on a bank that I had been fishing and catching a few fish on, and I know there were fish on this bank, but boy, right away I could tell, we were fishing the day after a full moon, and as soon as that moon dropped out, boy, the fishing got tough. The bites just weren't as aggressive. They were fewer and farther between. The small fish were active. The big fish just didn't want to come up and look at anything. So we proceeded down the bank, and some of you guys might have recognized we're in the back of White Slough. We went down to the old railroad bridge, and the tide was, I'm not going to say just right, but it was right enough for us to get the boat under the bridge. The problem is when the tide's low enough to get a boat under the bridge, it doesn't provide a lot of depth on the other side of the bridge. So this area that I had wanted to fish for a while, that I hadn't fished for many years, we got back there and it was just too low to fish. I mean, I commend Garrett on trying to get back there and taking a look, because it could have been a great area for us, but it wasn't going to pan out because the fishing was, or the depth was just a little too shallow. You guys on a kayak, if you ever come up here and you can get back under that bridge at the right tide, you may have a heck of a day back here. Anyhow, we're going to go along and we're going to look for some cleaner water, something that's a little easier to fish. So let's check out the next bank that we found. So what Garrett and I did is we took a 180-degree turn. We went from a foot of water, a foot of muddy water at a dead-end slough, all the way out to the channel. We found a steep rock bank, crystal clear water, 6 to 8 feet of vegetation, and a nice little trough. We immediately saw fish in the area. They were cruisers. They weren't on a real aggressive bite, but at least we knew there were fish on this bank. So Garret proceeded to catch a couple fish on one of his crankbaits, a bluegill color crankbait. I picked up a few bites on a 5-inch worm, and I was also throwing his prototype spinnerbait. We got a couple of fish, decided that we needed to find something a little different. We didn't want a foot of water. We didn't want 8 foot of crystal clear water. We needed something in the middle. So we wanted to look for a rock bank that had some vegetation on it, maybe some surface vegetation in tight, maybe a little trough. That's what we fished, and we started to pick up a few fish. Garret was punching a Dixie flip at the time, and we were having fun, but we needed something that was a little bit bigger than what we'd been catching. So let's check out this next fish. Garret finally found one that was full grown, and we'll take a look at that. So as usual, the bite window appeared and the bite window disappeared. It is the Delta. You guys know what we're talking about. So once we caught our few fish out on the channel, when picked up, we decided to go into a protected area, throw a few frogs, and Garret wanted me to check out one of his prototype baits. So let's take a look and we'll see what happens in this protected water.
Steve just got a good one. Yeah, nice one on our new popping frog.
So after that first frogfish, we did get 2 more really aggressive blow-ups that just didn't adjust the frog, so we were unable to get those on board. But had a fun 15 minutes throwing frogs. And at that point, Garret wanted to show me a new bait that he has. It's called a Papa Web, and it's a corky or cube style bait. And boy, I'm telling you, I was impressed with this thing. As I said, this was a very difficult day to fish out on the California Delta, just after a full moon. And the fish just weren't responding to anything very aggressively. Whether you threw a worm, whether you threw a crankbait, whether it was a spinner bait, whatever it was, the fish just weren't interested. So we threw this Papa Web out, and Garret was dialing me in on the forward-facing sonar. And boy, I'll tell you, where we thought there was maybe a fish or 2, there were all kind of fish out here. They just weren't biting. They'd come up, they'd sniff it, they'd look like they bumped it a couple of times. You throw a worm out there, nothing at all. You throw the Papa Web out there, and they had a lot of interest in it. And I think on another day, this could be a bait that cleans house out there. I was throwing a baby bass color. Garret was throwing a, I'll say a green pumpkin color, and I was getting all of the attention. So I asked him what was the difference, and basically we came to the opinion that this baby bass color Papa Web looked exactly like a small group of fry, and the fry garters were coming up, the females were coming up, we could see big fish coming up, and they had a very much of an interest in it. They just weren't picking it up and ingesting it. So with that, when this Papa Web comes out, if you can find it in the baby bass color, and I don't know what he'll be calling this particular one, but that's the one you want to get. Give this one a try. I think you might like it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments. If you have any questions for Garret, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel over at G-Ratt Baits. He's been working really hard on this channel. He's got a professional group working for him. They're producing some great content. You'll get all the information you need to have when it comes to G-Ratt Baits. So thanks once again for watching. Go out there and catch a few fish. Be safe. We'll see you guys on the road.